The way the SWIFT banking system was weaponized against Russia, where we shut them out of it, that was a huge spark, I think, that really set off the fire for the accumulation of physical gold at the central bank level.
If gold goes to $1 quadrillion, the world at which that happens is a wasteland.
What we've noticed is that transition from the price appreciation and the favor in gold is starting to move over to silver.
Welcome to Bullion Standard, where buyers gain value, members gain insight, and we all grow stronger together.
So, Charlie, we're going to talk about gold versus silver in the year 2025. We're just a little bit over halfway through the year now. What metal could be better this year? And that's a really high-level topic, but so we have gold. We have the foundational asset class. Central banks all around the world have been buying it, particularly since the start of the Russia-Ukraine war.
Why is that?
That incident and the way the SWIFT banking system was weaponized against Russia, where we shut them out of it so they could no longer transact in an international wire scene, sent a huge trust signal. The banking system internationally and dealing in U.S. dollar denominated assets might not be reliable. Little bit of a trust degradation event happened there. And so that was a huge spark, I think, that really set off the fire for the accumulation of physical gold at the central bank level. So gold has been on a rip-roaring run, Charlie. It's up about 50% approximately in the last 18 months. This is a big move. And so as of the date of this recording, like you mentioned, August 2025, we're about halfway through the month. Gold is at about $3,400 per ounce. Silver is just over $38 today. And so what we've noticed is that transition from the price appreciation and the favor in gold is starting to move over to silver. And so typically, silver has been the laggard to gold at the outbreak of a precious metals bull market. Let's talk about when this one started, just for a moment. All the way back in January 2019, this event happened in December 2018 where, the Fed was raising interest rates, something broke, and then they came out and said, actually, we're going to start lowering them again. That next month, in January of 2019, the 50-day moving average for gold on a technical basis moved in front of the 200-day moving average for gold. This is known as a golden cross in technical analysis. And so I would say it was January 2019 that the gold bull market resumed from the prior one that went down in the late 2010s and into 2011. So gold has been on a rip-roaring run. Silver is starting to catch a bid now. Silver is, this critical industrial metal that is responsible for a lot of stuff that we enjoy in our life as a first world standard of living. Gold has industrial applications too, but mostly it's a monetary metal. So I want to talk about, the gold to silver ratio. This is something that people give a lot of attention to. There's some people who disregard it. You basically take the price of gold and you divide it by the price of silver. You get a number. The U.S. monetary structure, as an example, was historically 16 to 1. That was the standard all throughout the 1800s. 16 ounces of silver for every 1 ounce of gold. There are some who would say it is mined out of the ground at a ratio, I can't remember exactly, it's like 6 or 7 to 1.
Meaning the cost to mine it is 6 times greater?
No, the rate at which it comes out of the ground. So
okay.
Just overall from a high level.
So the volume of metal mined out of the ground is 6 times that of the volume of gold mined out of the ground.
Correct.
Okay.
And then there's some who would say, well, all the way back in ancient times, like 4500 BC, it was 2.5 or 3 to 1. So today the ratio is above 80 to 1. During COVID, when the price collapsed in March 2020, it got really high. It got over 100 to 1.
Why is that?
I'm not sure. I think just the spot prices at the time happened to be such that there was a volatility fueled sell off, and this undertow of liquidity in markets just kind of clobbered everything, including the spot prices of metals, and that's just kind of where they landed at that time. So gold is the dominant metal by far. Gold is real wealth. It's a form of savings. It's an insurance policy, as we've talked about. Owning some home insurance without you wanting your home to burn down, that's not your goal.
You don't want to get paid out on your home insurance policy.
Correct.
You don't want to get paid out on your gold ownership as an insurance policy or hedge. Some people say it's a great hedge against inflation. You don't want to get paid out on that policy in any big, meaningful way. Why? Because if gold goes to $1 quadrillion, the world at which that happens is a wasteland.
That's right. Jim Grant gave that speech, I think, at the New Orleans Investment Conference in 2022, and he titled it Quadrillion Dollar Gold.
Yes.
It was very comical. So, yeah, owning gold in 2025 versus owning silver, I think we're kind of in this inflection point where both metals are just doing really well. And so which one would you own? This is not investment advice, Charlie. I'd rather own silver right now. I think the opportunity in silver is such that silver is a dual purpose metal. It's a monetary metal. It's been, silver literally translates into the word money. And so it's also an industrial metal that gives us a first world standard of living. And I think we all like our air conditioning and our cell phones.
And our solar panels.
And
our batteries. And our weaponry. We are really ramping up our production of weaponry across the globe. Our spend is going way up, and the amount of silver needed for that increase is just one more supply-demand dynamic that I think you're probably looking at that has you say silver. You said something earlier. You said, silver has caught a bid. Silver's doubled nearly, right? Like since when, 2019?
When we measure it, there are interim highs and lows, but the most notable one, I think, was in October 2022 when silver was 17, 18 bucks an ounce.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's 38 bucks an ounce, almost 40, and there are a lot of analysts out there right now who think silver is just going to go bananas. And
what would cause silver price to go down?
Well, I guess at the core of it is supply and demand. So we would need more silver supply than there is demand for. That can be at both the monetary level and the industrial application level. Silver is interesting too because it's in supply deficit, which is a really important point that we should,
let's
really
talk
touch on.
Let's talk about what's causing the deficit.
Demand exceeds supply. It's as simple as that. When you combine investment, which is monetary demand, and you combine industrial demand, this total number is more than comes out of the ground each year. Last year, silver demand totaled 1.214 billion ounces. And while I don't know the production number specifically, it was a couple 100 million ounces less than that. So there's a noticeable gap here. And so for that reason, silver, it's a mutually exclusive outcome with what could happen to the price.
And we could do the calculation and say, well, how long is this going to last before, there's 200 million ounces of silver needed and it's unavailable. It's not there. So what happens at that catalyst point, like the price is going to go to the highest bidder. Who's going to be the highest bidder? If it's the military, what's the upper limit of the price of silver. I mean, there could be, moments in time where we see some really remarkable payments per ounce for silver.
This has happened in the past, Charlie. In the 1970s, silver went from about $1 to $50. But it was a completely different circumstance which drove the price back then. But today, the need for silver and the criticalness of this material is such that it's invaluable. It's so critical to everything we do. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. And so I think silver is the clear choice for which metal is going to win out in 2025. What's better in 2025?
Moving forward from August 13th, it is today.
Yep. So Charlie, my vote is silver. I love silver. I am a total silver bug. I'm a silver bull. I have so much conviction for silver. Obviously, Charlie, we at Bullion Standards sell a lot of silver, and I think it's just going to be one of those things that does phenomenally well. This is not investment advice, of course, but I have a ton of conviction for silver. Which metal do you think will win out in 2025? What's better to own?
Well, between gold and silver, I'm going to be with you. I think silver is absolutely in a structural setup for the possibility to outperform gold in the price appreciation. And we could also talk about copper too, because copper is definitely something that's similar to silver. And I don't know exactly where we stand on that, but I would love to have the conversation with you and find out.
We will do that in another episode. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Silver is the metal for 2025. Thank you so much for joining us on another Bullion Standard episode. Charlie, thank you for joining. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. We're going to look at every single comment. We're going to, take your feedback seriously, and it's a pleasure for you to join us, and thank you so much for being here.
Also, remember to explore the member resources at bullionstandard.com, where you, as the consumer of retail precious metals, can pay through the Bullion Standard Pro membership 0 retail markup. You can buy and sell for wholesale prices the same way that all bullion dealers have access to. bullionstandard.com/pro.